So 6 was apparently not enough.
Well, at least not for me. And
No, I've actually... and
the sour beers are...
Is it your new... Would you say this is one of your new favorite styles?
I would definitely say it's my new favorite style, yes.
So if you're looking for things on the shelf, you go IPA and sour beer almost hand in hand. You're looking for either one of those new exciting things, right?
Actually, right now I'm kind of looking for even like new expressions of lager, actually, after reading that article.
Really?
And you and I talking about IPLs.
Oh,
and
that's
different
right, yeah.
if I can see something that's a lager that's not just your basic, run-of-the-mill sort of plain kind of boring lager, then I'd like to try that.
Then I would like to try that.
I would like to try that.
Well, we don't have those right now, but
No.
what we do have is another sour beer, and that's what we've got for this Give It a Shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com, and it seems a little empty today, just the two of us here.
It does.
But it's all right.
It won't be empty for long, though.
No.
But you'll have to wait and find out what that's all about.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, foreshadow.
So that'd be funny if you could have a little video with a little foreshadow.
A little
shadow before. Anyway, so we in purchasing items for a family gathering last week, I went sour crazy.
You did.
I did.
I couldn't believe actually how many different ones you were able to find. Because we talked a lot over the last couple weeks about how difficult it is to find sour beers. They can be expensive. Yeah. So I appreciate you bringing those over because I know the expense involved. But also with that, you were able to discover that we can't find Russian River, but we can find a lot of other very interesting, unique sours, and that's kind of what you've brought to the table here today. We've got one right from Belgium.
From Belgium, that's correct.
It's produced in a castle. So they've got lots of cool microbes going on.
Oh, yeah.
1875 kind of like microbes, like really old stuff.
I think they even called one of them AR 1875 microbe.
They could have, yeah.
So, this is the Duchesse De Bourgogne. That's the pronunciation. That is the pronunciation we are going with.
And it was tough to find anything,
at
least people that we felt reliable.
Yeah. Yes.
That had a good
we found a few other things that
exactly.
We weren't going to hitch our wagon to that. So
no.
But the Duchesse part we have seen phonetically spelled out, and the De Bourgogne I'm just going with because I know that's actually, I'm fairly certain that's a French word.
Yeah.
And refers to a region or a type of something. I don't know, but we're going to go with that as we discuss this beer. Maybe we'll just call it the Duchesse.
Yeah, let's just call it the Duchesse.
Call it that. So. And this is an 11.2 ounce bottle. I got it for $5.49 at Total Wine. It's 6% alcohol, and it is a Flemish red.
Okay.
And while you're opening that and pouring, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I remembered that I had read an article on lambics and sour beers in Imbibe magazine, and I didn't realize the article was almost 6 years old.
Wow.
I didn't realize I've been a subscriber of Imbibe for almost 6 years now, but it went into a little detail about the term goose, which we mentioned on our sour podcast, which you can go back to AboutBeverages.com and listen to that. It shouldn't be too hard to find. It's the one that came out right before this.
Yeah, it came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, very recently. And it was saying that the term goose actually means it's a blend of 1, 2, and 3-year-old lambics.
Wow.
Which I did not know. And then also, another one of the beers that you and I tried last week was the Petrus.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was, and I think we may have even talked about this, the term, the Ode. The
Odd Bruin.
OUD.
Yeah.
I guess that is a term that was given to signify that it is a lambic brewed in the more classic and traditional style.
Oh.
Technically, I guess it had been that all of them were brewed in that style, and some would add fruit or fruit juice and different things like that, and that was okay. But then there was a large beer brewer, more commercial beer brewer in Belgium that was putting some pressure on the government to release or to make those restrictions a little more lax.
Okay.
And so then, all these other sorts of very fruity added lambics and things were coming out.
Yeah.
And so they then came out with that distinction. If you see the OUD on there, means that it is that more traditional style.
See, that's really cool to know
cool.
because that's almost a negative connotation I've had with lambics. Usually when I see the term lambic, it's always like, this is a raspberry lambic. This is a something and I just kind of, I put those to the side because I'm just like, that's not, what I was, but that's interesting to know that the more original style can still be found, and it doesn't have to. At least for me, it doesn't have to have that kind of connotation. So,
and I'm
that's
hoping
really
that
cool.
I'm hoping that article hasn't. I mean, like I said, it is almost 6 years old, but a lot of the information to me seemed still relevant, and I would assume that probably hasn't changed.
If you haven't read it, it's new to you.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so just a couple little new.
No, that's awesome.
That is mine is very clear actually.
Yeah, no, mine as well.
Clear.
Which is something we noticed last time. Like depending on who got the last of the pour, there could definitely be some stuff hanging out in these.
But that's definitely that's like iced tea. It's a light brown.
There's a little reddish in there.
Yeah,
would
a
you
little
say?
bit. Yeah, like maybe an Assam.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, definitely.
You broke out our closest thing to.
I did. I figured we'd be using these a couple times, so. Ooh, it's got a strong malt vinegar kind of flavor.
Yeah, I get
kind
that.
Of aroma.
That you can smell that sort of.
I tasted this through my nose.
Well, we do.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, it does. It has that more intense.
Balsamic.
It's
almost,
weird.
maybe,
Yeah,
like
and it's weird to say
vinegar.
a sour aroma, but it does have that sour fruit, grape, balsamic-y. Yeah, that is the kind that overall I have this feeling I like.
Well, you get when you take in a nice deep breath, your tongue. You can almost feel your tongue start to water. It almost starts to pucker a little bit. Like you can tell, right? And that's you, like I said, making a good point that aroma is a huge part of your taste.
Yep. Speaking of taste,
let's do it. That is delicious.
That is really good.
There's a really great sour flavor. There's almost what kind of fruit would you say? Like a play of some raspberries or
something like that.
Strawberries, something like that. There's a
red
nice
fruit. There's a red fruit in there.
And then that fruit almost goes into like a jammy like sweetness. There's almost like a little like a jam, like a preserve or something like that because intermingled with that sour is this really great, nice little sweet. Probably from the malts and from the other things.
A little bitter on the back, on the finish, but nothing like offensive. But this hits a lot of different tastes. It highlights a lot of areas on the palate. I think
I can see that, like a really light pinch, but that goes away. But there is a little sensation.
But that is delicious. That is the style I'm finding myself drawn to of these.
That is really nice.
That is good.
So now, like what we always do, talk about the taste for value, kind of play. Because you were saying $5.50 for this 12-ounce bottle.
Yeah, 11.2.
We were able to justify a sour that maybe having later in the coming weeks due to price, and we'll talk about that at that time. But it's one I would say that I would have one of these around. I just couldn't obviously have many of them, and I would break this out for a special occasion. That's the kind of beer that this would be.
Yeah,
just because of the price factor.
Yeah,
but I understand the price factor. I'm not like
with
upset.
All that goes in,
all that goes into it, all the time and the waiting. I mean, look what you just said. 1, 2, and well, that was the goose. But like I said, things that at least a year usually for most of these, sometimes longer.
Right.
And blending and all this. I mean, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of love that goes into these.
There is, a lot of TLC, a lot of knowledge that goes in there.
They don't go chasing waterfalls.
Decades of knowledge. No, not decades.
TLC.
No,
thank you. I had to get that one in there. It's like, how can I quickly?
How can we throw TLC in when we're tasting a delicious sour beer like this? I don't know. Anyway. But a lot of knowledge, a lot of expertise has gone into that, and just a lot of time, like we've just talked about before, just waiting for the magic to happen in the barrel. So that the scary thing for me, and we've talked about, is this. I do enjoy this style. It's an expensive style.
It is
because these are easy to drink. It's not like some beers you think, oh, it's a little pricey, but you know what? I'd pour a glass of that, and I could sit with that for an hour and just sip it. And
actually, a good representation of that would be like the 120 from Dogfish.
See, I haven't had that since I had that sip of Joe.
Oh, you're kidding!
I bought a second one because I told you I bought the.
Well, then I'll make that reference then, because that's something where that one is a high alcohol. Most people are familiar with that. Like I said, my love of that beer, 16 to 18%. So it is something you kind of have to sip anyway. Right. But you spend a little more from that, anywhere from $8 to $10 for a bottle of that size. But that literally would be your beer for the evening, and it is something that you will enjoy for several hours, just sipping and letting it come up to different temperatures and things. This one you could, but you also could very easily if we weren't talking right now, this would be gone.
Oh, easily. It's very easily, yeah.
Super easy drinking, 6%. It's a sessionable sour.
Yeah.
Almost.
Close, yeah. It's almost there. No,
so what you're saying is they need to make sours like a lot higher in alcohol, so you don't want to drink them.
Well, that or find a way, and I think you sort of defeat the purpose, but to make them a little more affordable. But at least right now,
and it's imported, so that's why this one's a little more too. You can find them, for more. I mean, this one's a little on the pricier side for this size, but
I mean that the Russian River ones that we love so much were a heck of a lot more than that, and only a little bit more ounce wise.
Yeah, like an ounce.
Yeah.
We got like some of those were $10, $11, $12 for an ounce more with the. Now those did have, especially the one we liked the best, the Consecration, I believe, which had the currant in it, and the wine barrels. That one was over 10%.
Yeah.
So that definitely was a sipper, and the complexity warranted that.
Yeah.
But that also won. As you saw, the price was kind of off the charts.
But the thing about this beer is if you do know somebody who likes a sour beer, like Eric, we need to just text him right now. Eric, if you're at Total Wine and you see the Duchesse, you need to try that.
Yeah, he will love that.
So people, they'll love that beer. That's delicious.
And I think this is almost, even though it does have quite a bit of tart and vinegar in it, it also, because of that sweetness, I think someone that does not normally, or maybe has not even experienced a sour, this is not a bad one to start with. No. It might be a little more tart than you'd want to start, but it's because of the sweetness. I think it actually is pretty well balanced. Where if you're interested in this style at all, it is a little pricey, but I think it's definitely worth trying. The flavors are so unique.
I can't stop.
I know, and I will finish mine as soon as everyone heads on over to the website at AboutBeverages.com and checks out the tasting notes for this delicious beer from Belgium, this delicious lambic.
Yes.
And while you're there, definitely become a fan of us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, and check us out on YouTube as well. Thank you for all the comments. We've been getting a lot of comments lately on our videos. We appreciate that, all the feedback. People actually have been asking for recipes lately when we've done our homebrew podcast, which make me feel very good. So we appreciate that. And if there's other things in the sour realm that hopefully we can find here in Arizona, let us know, because this is definitely one of our favorite styles right now. So
we're hot on the trail.
That's right. But whether we like it or not,
you should give it a shot.